Welcome to the Information Security Management System, or ISMS Template Pack presentation video presented by the company x-tention. x-tention offers a complete, tried and tested ISMS template pack, which is available in a standard edition format and a healthcare edition format, as well as in German and English. The healthcare edition covers the complete industry-specific safety standard for healthcare in hospitals. More will be explained later in the video about the differences. First of all, a few words about the x-tention group. x-tention is one of the leading medical service providers in the health industry. In addition to Wels and Vienna, x-tention has further offices in Austria, in St. Peter, Graz, Salzburg and Klagenfurt. The group's own portfolio is involved in individual services for hospitals, health insurance companies, service providers and patients. x-tention helps in the development of digitization strategies, implements and operates its own IT solutions, and supports its customers with expert advice. The x-tention group of companies consists of x-tention IT, Sofico, Intercomponentware, Factor D and IT for Industries. From their offices in Austria, Germany, Switzerland, UK, USA, more than 500 x-tention employees look after over 900 customers. Now let's go to the ISMS templates. The templates are the result of x-tension's knowledge, which was created through the operation of 3 data centers over the past 10 years. Therefore, the present pack has been inspired by more than 10 years of site-based ISO 27001 knowledge and experience, together with related audit experience. This underlines the template's real-world origins. As is customary for an ISMS, the templates are composed of several policies, process descriptions, concepts, and other document templates, which are all created on the Microsoft Office platform, so that there are no further licensing fees or special applications required. A great advantage of this pack is the certified content that is already contained within the documents. This not only saves you hundreds of hours of text formulation, but it can also be seen as a valuable input for the practical ISO 27001 implementation processes. As already mentioned, due to the special requirements of the healthcare sector and the origin of x-tention as a hospital IT department, there are 2 versions of the ISMS template pack. The first, an industry-neutral version, is the standard version and draws on the experience of over 10 years of in-house ISO 27001 certification, as well as the experience of successful certification projects with our customers based on this template pack. The other version, a healthcare version, incorporates all that has been mentioned and includes all of the hospital healthcare safety standard requirements. It is proven to withstand an inspection, for example, under the German Critical Infrastructure IT Security Act, Section A of the Act, issued by the BSIG. And now to the documents. First of all, general reference comments are captioned on the documents, which can be integrated into the General Document Management System. The comments explain the contents. The cover page is to be adapted in each template in the same way as the main information. This is highlighted in yellow. In the healthcare version, all text passages concerning the sector-specific security standard requirements are marked by comments, and the version control marks the basis for continuous improvement of the respective document. And now to the contents part of the information security policy. This briefly explains the implementation of chapters 4 to 10 of ISO 27001. A central part of the information security policy is the management's commitment to the development of the information security management system, which, with the issue of this document, ensures that information security is integrated into the company's strategy. Other chapters are concerned with the information security objectives and strategies themselves, self-assessment, the scope of application of the ISMS, whereby a distinction is made between those with an ISO 27001 certification and those without an ISO 27001 certification. Roles and responsibilities. ISMS documentation. Information security. Risk management. Awareness and training. Maintenance and continuous improvement of the ISMS. and finally the consequences of non-compliance or breaches. There are further individual documents in the different sections, but here is a brief overview. So next I would like to introduce the Information Security Risk Management Process description. In principle, like the other documents, it has a relatively similar structure with a short management summary, the scope and the roles. The risk management process starts with the identification of risks, which can come from a variety of sources. These risks are entered onto the risk matrix in an Excel document, which will shortly be expanded on. Then the analysis takes place to determine the risk of the probability of occurrence and the likely impact. After that, there is a recommendation made on the risk treatment to be applied. A decision will then be taken which, depending on the level of risk, may be decided by someone else. The measure is accompanied by a review of its implementation. The risk level matrix chosen is a 5x5 matrix, but since the whole thing is based on the same basis, it can of course be adjusted at any time and a different dimension can be used. The criteria are set out in the table in the annex. As already mentioned, this is a risk matrix, which is based in Excel and in which all the risks are calculated. In order not to go beyond the scope of the video, I will only present a few selected fields and not go into them all. The first step is risk identification with the title and description. For example, here we have large area encryption using malware and the company affected, or, for example, which employee has reported and identified the risk. The next step is a risk analysis with the indication of impact and probability of occurrence. In this example of malware, the result is very high based on the aforementioned 5x5 risk matrix. But due to the Microsoft Excel base, this can of course be adjusted at any time. The impact and probability of occurrence also determines, if necessary, the decision maker, and a reason for the risk assessment's high impact and very high occurrence probability that have been set can be added manually. The next step is the proposal for risk mitigation or risk management. That is, what should be done about the risk, and is there a new risk analysis of how the risk mitigation proposal affects the risk? A risk mitigation decision is still to be taken. That is, what actually happens to the risk, whether the risk mitigation is implemented or whether other measures are affected. Last but not least, the implementation of the measures are referenced in a link to a separate Excel sheet. We have decided to treat the documentation of the measures in a separate Excel file, as not all measures are from risk management, and therefore a complete list of measures currently planned is more useful. Information Security Incident Management. The next document is an important step for security incident management, that is, the recognition that security-related events are dealt with in a coordinated way. First of all, the definitions of what is a security-related event, the definition of a security alert, and the definition of a security event. So, at the moment of a security alert, nothing has happened yet. A security incident means something has already happened. There is a very high-level overview of the whole security-relevant event process, looking at whether it is a security alarm or security incident, the triggering of the security incident management process, and then it will be decided or looked at whether a data protection incident has occurred, and then the data breach notification process is started. Here, the data protection related event is inputted together with the data protection reason. In addition, here again are the objectives and the roles within the respective tasks in this process. And then the guidelines, because the guidelines stipulate, for example, that every employee is obliged to report security events or potential risks. Then here is the process, which is also, so to speak, like the upper one in Visio, say an example process. But in any case, the reaction, communication, and documents are all triggered by the whole process. The whole thing is based on the business model process and notation standards here in the text. All subordinate documents, such as checklists and templates, are also included in this pack. It is important to mention the account policy, where it is mandatory to report events. These mandatory requirements for reporting events are inserted into the healthcare version, where all the requirements of the directive are an integral part of the concrete messaging, as long as the process is followed. The version shown here is the standard version, so there will also be requirements for the sector-specific security standards. And the next and final document provided here is for the key performance indicators. The key performance indicators present a rather difficult topic to start with. It is about making the security objectives that have been defined measurable with the help of key performance indicators. There are, of course, various key performance indicators or KPI requirements. The information security objectives that should be measurable through these key indicators. Here is the definition of what information has to be collected or defined for each key performance indicator, and a brief overview next to it of which of the sample information security objectives would fit which indicators. Here, the KPIs can be used to increase fairness. For example, the number of participants undergoing training on information security. Here you can see the previously described tables with defined information simply filled in each time. Also here are the anonymized results of the e-learning knowledge checks. And you also have a view and name, description interval when it was collected, the goals, who is responsible for it, how it is measured, and of course also important, what the aim is and in which direction the KPI should be going. Another example would be the number of system failures or the number of changes in relation to the number of system failures. Again, the same information defined per key performance indicator. I hope I have been able to bring the ISMS pack closer to you. I know that presenting documents by video is a bit difficult, but I refer you to our homepage isms.eu, where you can download a demo pack for free and have a look at the documents at your own leisure. Finally, and in summary, just a few bullet points. Our ISMS pack is designed from the practice for the practice. It contains the experience from over 10 years of certified ISMS operation. The text modules and contents are extensively pre-formulated and captioned in the documents. There is a framework here, and there is also text that could be adapted to your company's own policies and processes. There are experts with profound know-how from the health and social care sector who can support you in individual projects. Of course, the already mentioned text formulation also provides significant time savings and effort reduction in the ISMS setup. Our ISMS template pack is proven to be the perfect basis for an ISO 27001 certification and successful Section A BSIG audit verification. No special software is required, you only need Microsoft Office, and there are no additional license costs. And all of this is available in the Healthcare Edition, which is tailored to the health sector specific demands, or in the Standard Edition, which is completely industry neutral. We are now at the end of this video. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions, or please visit our homepage isms.eu and download the demonstration pack for free. Thank you.